30 years ago, I set myself a goal to tell the stories of adventure, to stand on the tops of the mountains, to float the West's best rivers.
Gary's Greenie Special.
My name is Gary Lewis. These are stories from the edge of civilization. Tales of yesterday. Notes from wilderness. This is Frontier Unlimited. Got one!
Oh god, you break my rod if I'm not careful.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's a fun color. Survive it.
Yeah.
I do much good.
Nice trout.
You've been catching some good stuff there, guys.
Yeah. I was afraid he's gonna jerk that hook right through my hand.
Big fish.
We're in north central Oregon fishing a couple of lakes for 2 days with the idea of catching some big trout. Basically what I do is rent a house, reserve 2 lakes, and put the word out to some friends and see who can go. It's usually the end of May or the 1st of June, so we're looking for damselflies, pale morning duns, snails, dragonflies, and midges. And we're looking for trout rising in the weeds, and we're hoping not to see a rattlesnake. My name is Gary Lewis, and I'm the publisher of the Fishing Central Oregon book. I took it over from Jeff Hill about 10 years ago, and his roadmap for business and fishing is the same roadmap I use today. Nice fish. Look at that. All right. Well, he hit hard. And what I did is I was trailing this San Juan worm after this articulated leech. And I was using it mainly to drag the leech down, but anyway, he hit the trailer.
Just saw a real riser,
Oh,
and
right
a second
there. Okay,
one,
yeah.
and a third one. Okay.
Yeah, and another one, yeah.
Good.
Steve and I have been to a lot of different places now. He's hunted whitetail with me in Missouri, and he is on his fly fishing journey, and that's another good reason to book at these private waters, because you get the fishing to yourself and you can sort out the bug life, the casting, and make some progress in your fly fishing journey, and that's what it's all about. Okay, don't horse it. When you feel like you can, get its head up and then skate it to the net. When you can get its head up. And no hurry. When we fish these lakes, I always tell people, plan to fish snail imitations early in the morning, up next to the weeds, no movement on the fly. Second, I would say the most effective way to fish is probably with chironomids in tandem under an indicator, and this is going to work all day. And then the third would be to slow troll damselfly or dragonfly imitations or halibaetus nymphs in tandem. And this is what everybody usually wants to do. It's the easiest way to fish. It's very effective.
Sorry.
Nice! Yeah. your rod tip. Yeah, you can set. Oh, you had one.
How did you see that? I didn't see anything.
Well, your line went that way.
Really?
So when your line goes that way, that means you got a fish on it. Okay, lay it down. When you shoot the line, stop your rod here.
Okay.
Warren scope mounts didn't become the standard of the industry in an engineering lab, and we didn't become legendary by standing still. At Warren scope mounts, we put our gear to the test with top shooters and on the hunt year-round. We know long-range shooters and world-class hunters demand the best, and we build the best. Bases and rails, scope rings, MSR mounts, and magazine extensions. Ask for Warren scope mounts at your favorite gun stores or visit warrenscopemounts.com. Confidence in every shot.
There's a place in the mountains untouched by a stressful world, where the ice crystals break under your feet, temperatures bring hands together. From a timeout for the game at Crescent Lake Lodge to a lovely commute, where dinner plans are all but set. Make your stay at Crescent Lake Lodge and Resort at crescentlakeresort.com.
You haven't been here, but you know it. You've heard the sounds, smelled the air, and seen where your heart lands, if not yet. You haven't been here, but you've longed for a destination near or far, where the young and old find rest and excitement, not apart. You haven't been here, but you're on your way to a place not far. ExploreTheDalles.com.
You don't want to pass up a chance to fish the small water, the micro water. What I keep my eye out for are these little ponds that are fed by the springs, and the water trickles out of here and feed into the bigger lakes. Get over here, and you can get your feet right down in the water if you want. Good job. I was thinking about going up to the little spring water up at the top. That's what I was thinking. What are you thinking?
I've got that whole green thing.
Same. Yeah, that red weed.
Okay.
This is Lori Luoma. We've known her for about 25 years. Great family friend. She and her husband Dale wanted to go on this trip. She got it in her head we might see snakes, and she was not wrong.
Oh, sorry.
Have you ever seen rattlesnake eggs?
I don't want to.
Didn't do eggs.
We got those at a really cool place on a trip we just did. I got it shut with a paper clip there.
Am I opening it?
Yeah, and they're just cool to look at. They're just little tiny things.
I want to see.
Oh, Jesus! I was wondering if something.
There could be big fish in these little ponds, and that's what Brian discovered. And he couldn't tear himself away from one of the smallest waters. It was deep, too, deep and cold, because that was where the spring water was coming from. and he caught a really nice bass. I mean, this was a fish to be proud of.
It's just kind of fat.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
This guy's heavy. It was, can we say epic?
Epic.
It was epic.
Euphoric.
Euphoric.
That sounds weird, huh?
Yeah, no, it was the biggest one, the biggest fighter I've had so far. And actually, you know, after a while, your arm gets a little sore in your hand. So.
I like to have a few bass flies in my trout box because if I'm fishing for trout and I'm in a spot where there's some bass, then I can quickly tie on, I'll probably have to shorten the leader, tie on a popper or tie on a slider or something that's got a lot of movement to it, like a big smoochy, leechy kind of pattern with a bullet head.
So I was able to see in the clearer water, you know, how fast it drops, and then you lift it. You know, you don't have to pull very hard for it to lift up very much, and then it just goes back down. So it was that actually was me learning stuff and trying it, and it worked. So in that sense, it was epic.
Good job. Come on, let's go have pizza.
We got bull snakes and rattlesnakes. That's the main two kinds of snakes we got here. A few garter snakes. I just happen to have a snake with me. And my Orvis Helios fly rod, which is the one I turn to when I gotta make a rubber snake move. Lori showed up with cowboy boots and a hat, and I supplied her with the appropriate sidearm.
I hit it. Don't sweat it, guys. This is a rubber snake. This is my Ruger single 6.
I loaded the gun with CB caps. It's a low power rimfire round. Very quiet, very useful for dispatching small critters in traps or various other tasks that might be imagined around the home place.
Power is confidence. It breaks down barriers, plows through fields of uncertainty, travels 1,000,000 miles, then goes 1,000,000 more. When others waver, power pushes forward. On the high seas, ice roads, and deep underground, power takes performance standards and shatters them. It uses 100 years of formulating expertise to engineer the next generation of diesel engine oil chemistry. Introducing Isosin Advanced Technology, the power you need to go further.
Frontier Roast is a medium roast derived from 100% select-grade Colombian coffee, the essential brew of the backcountry. For the finest trout fishing in America, why not enjoy the finest coffee before you make the first cast? Get yours today at GaryLewisOutdoors.com.
Introducing Nosler's Whitetail Country Ammunition. Whether you're chasing that trophy buck, shooting management deer, or simply filling the freezer, you need ammunition you can rely on for a quick, clean kill every time. Loaded with the legendary solid base bullet and the high-performance straight wall bullet, Whitetail Country Ammunition sets a new standard in deer hunting with exceptional bullet penetration and expansion to kill deer quick.
Life is good, yeah. Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like I've been walking on air. Left all my worries and cares. I've got nobody to
Hi, my name is Ava, and today we're going to be making a peach cobbler. The ingredients we're going to use today is canned peaches, a box of cake mix, a stick of butter, and lemon lime soda. The crazy thing about this recipe is that there's no need to stir it. Here at Frontier Unlimited, we prefer our Camp Chef cast iron Dutch oven. We're going to pour 1/8 of the cake mix onto the bottom of the Dutch oven. Next, we're going to pour 1 ounce of soda onto the cake mix. Next, we're going to pour the peaches over the cake mix. This is my favorite part. We're going to pour the rest of the cake mix onto the top of the peaches. I like to add little pats of butter on top of the cake mix. Butter makes it better. Let's lid this baby up and get it on the stove. This will need to cook for about 40 minutes. Look for it to be golden brown around the edges. You can't control the fishing, but you can make him a peach cobbler.
These two kids right here have caught more fish than most of my friends. And if there's something they like better than fishing, it's eating. And you can always count on Holden to show up when the dessert is coming out of the Dutch oven. If you want to fish the private lakes, we've got a section for that in the Fishing Central Oregon book. What you do is you just flip to the private lakes section and then find, in this case, the Justison Ranch chapter. And we got phone number listed. You can go to Justison Ranch Recreation and make the call. You're going to talk to Amanda.
I love the Central Oregon Fishing book. Years ago, we picked up Fishing Central Oregon book, and we refer to it quite a bit when we're checking out a new water. It tells you where to go, what kind of fish are there, the good holes to fish in, and all that good stuff. It's awesome. Darn.
Well, my most vivid steelhead catching.
This is Dale Lawoma.
Was also my
Dale,
biggest steelhead.
Lori's husband.
I remember it fondly. December 31st, fighting the bitter cold of the water, iced islets all day, about to give up, but said, no, one more hole.
These waters fish really good from March, April, May, into early June, and then again late September, October, November, after the rains come and the water's cooled down again. That's a really good time to be on these lakes.
And truly wonderful experience, and one of my favorite last light, dark sunset experiences on the beautiful lower Deschutes.
Describe this as spiritual in the sense of, especially when you have a fish on, that's the only thing you're thinking about, and absolute focus, and the adrenaline like going through the body, I feel like, is like tapping the human spirit. Just the entire experience of being out is good for the soul. Nature has a slower pace rhythm to it that you just can't help but have the nervous system calm down and just sort of slow down to the pace of nature.
Okay. This is Benoit. Benoit is the president of the Tetherow Fly Fishing Club, and he's an enthusiastic fly fisherman. He's fished these lakes more than I have now.
Some idiosyncrasies that you don't know about that I do.
Sure.
And there are two brothers, and they are the same name. In some families, it happens. Lack of imagination, whatever. And so in order to distinguish them, they both had a great career in music before this Gary Lewis went into fishing and shit. Or can I say shit on
Generally, no.
Okay, we can, stuff.
All right, you're good.
Okay, and he was well known with his band, Gary Lewis and the Playboys. That's when he was based down in San Diego, and they had all those big hits. Pretty much they competed with the Beach Boys they were like 2-hit wonders, which is pretty good for those days. And then he decided to go into the fishing gig, which he's been doing very successfully. Then there was his other brother, Huey. And Huey was also a brilliant musician, and his band was Huey Lewis and the News. And he's still in music. He looks a little bit worse for the wear, and so does his voice. But in a nutshell, that's what the story of the Gary Lewis twins is all about.
Introducing Nosler's Whitetail Country Ammunition. Whether you're chasing that trophy buck, shooting management deer, or simply filling the freezer, you need ammunition you can rely on for a quick, clean kill every time. Loaded with the legendary solid base bullet and the high-performance straight wall bullet, Whitetail Country Ammunition sets a new standard in deer hunting with exceptional bullet penetration and expansion to kill deer quick.
Life is good, yeah. Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like I've been walking on air. Left all my worries and cares. I've got no burdens around you.
Warren scope mounts didn't become the standard of the industry in an engineering lab, and we didn't become legendary by standing still. At Warren Scope Mounts, we put our gear to the test with top shooters and on the hunt year-round. We know long-range shooters and world-class hunters demand the best, and we build the best. Bases and rails, scope rings, MSR mounts, and magazine extensions. Ask for Warren Scope Mounts at your favorite gun stores or visit warrenscopemounts.com. Confidence in every shot.
In my experience on these waters, you get good numbers of trout in the 14 to 19 inch range and a few that go over 20 inches and a good shot at hooking trout up to 25 inches. And there's a few bigger ones, and you should probably size the tippet at about 3x fluorocarbon. Sometimes you can get away with 4x, but 3x is probably where you want to start with. These are big fish, big shoulders, and they'll break the line. And they'll break a rod. I broke my favorite rod a couple of years ago on one of these big fish. Rod size, I would say a 6 weight is going to do it. A medium action, you want a floating line and intermediate slow sinking line. And you'll use those two lines the most when you fish these waters here in North Central Oregon. beetles, ants. These are desert waters. High desert fish eat different bugs than trout in other places in Oregon. So the teleco, the tied down caddis, the beetle patterns, and the kind of bugs that you'll find that fall in off of the grass, so terrestrials, especially from September into late October, grasshoppers and crickets. Those would be good terrestrial patterns to have for these waters. Leaders, I would say you want to have a 9-foot leader going down to a 3X fluorocarbon tippet. So maybe have a spool of 3X, have a spool of 4X. You're going to want 5X for some applications if the trout are finicky and taking small flies. But 3X and 4X are going to get it done for you. There's times when you want to use 2X, and especially when you're trolling from a float tube in deep water where maybe the water's a little turbid. There's been some rains that have brought a little bit of muddy conditions in, and then you can get away with 2X fluorocarbon and you get a big fish on in deep water. It's like fighting a salmon on your fly rod. You want to go fishing in Central Oregon? We get that. The 6th edition of Fishing Central Oregon, written by Brooke Snavely and Gary Lewis, features 500 color photos highlighting more than 200 lakes and streams. A large number of aerial views provide perspective, legendary waters, big trout, the Deschutes, Crane Prairie, detailed maps, access points, boat launches. Ask for the Fishing Central Oregon book or click GaryLewisOutdoors.com. The Fishing Central Oregon book. Brian, I tried to get him to wear a cowboy hat, but he insists on these floppy things, and this is what you get when you fish with Brian, and you also get a guy who is probably going to catch the biggest fish.